My old man taught me that duct tape could fix anything. I don't think he was talking about bullet holes. This place is really coming together, huh?
I've got something a bit different for you.
You can fix just about anything.
My, welcome back, iPad children. Today I have something real special for you all. Today we continue Ezekiel's schizophrenic adventure, being an all-powerful god of chaos and silliness. Observing Ezekiel's actions and story has brought me to the conclusion that he must be tormented further. Not purely as a form of punishment, although that is certainly a component, but so he may act as my instrument of chaos, and bring silly doom amongst those who so foolishly choose to remain in the commonwealth.
I'm gonna be a one-man cheeseburger apocalypse.
If you're confused why I'm Isaac Clarke, please watch my other video. This is kind of a part 2 of that. Anyway, I have lovingly handpicked one mod that holds a very special place in my heart to share with all of you. I assure you, it is utterly beautiful. Let us get started. Please enjoy my little attention deficit zombies. Okay, so like I said, this mod is near and dear to my heart. I got a glimpse of it a few years back, but never got around to actually playing through it. And finally, after doing so, this mod ended up being incredible and had way more depth than I could have ever expected it to have. And now I can say with confidence that this is, in fact, my favorite mod for Fallout 4, hands down. But with this mod, the less I say about it now, the better. So let's just go ahead and experience this together. You're in for a ride, so get comfy. Okay, so upon starting the game, you will proc a quest to investigate Dr. Nix, and you can do this at any level. The location's fast travel is also available instantly. It's located here. Now, right off the bat, chaos ensues. Just getting close to this place, in my mind, does it just get so much worse going inside.
Yeah, what do you want?
I'm here to pick up an order. 2 large pepperoni and a calzone. Name is... you?
Yeah, whatever. Keep your pants on.
Okay, I would like to take a moment to appreciate the sheer art that is Dr. Nix and how this mod so perfectly encapsulates the schadenfreude and utter aesthetic of chaotic bliss. It's just perfect, down to every minute detail, just beautiful. It's gritty, dark, humorous, and chaotic. Oh, wunderbar. Enough panty wetting. What is this place? And what the hell is going on here? Well, great question, and I'm just as confused as you are. We can take a look around, and almost everything can be interacted with, and same goes with consumables. Now, you will very quickly realize that everything will game end you incredibly quickly, to an immaculate degree. The initial stage of figuring out what exactly Dr. Nix is involves a lot of trial and error, close attention to detail, and yes, lots and lots of strange explosions. Beautiful. So since we are struggling to figure out what Dr. Nix is, let's ask Dr. Nick himself.
Hi.
Oh, look, a customer. Welcome to Dr. Nick's clinic, restaurant, locksmithing, hair care salon, pharmacy, small engine repair, and cocktail lounge. Where every Tuesday night is ladies' night. Now, what do you want?
Are you really a doctor?
Sure, I mean, I didn't attend the prestigious Hollywood basement medical college like my great whatever granddad did. But he was a doctor, which, makes all his descendants doctors too.
If you say so, Nick.
That's how it works. No, wait, that may be how I became a chef.
Got any work?
Well, it just so happens I do. I've got some chem supplies stored in a safe just, up the street. You're gonna have to grab the key first to get into it. You better take Seymour with you. I mean, by the looks of you, you couldn't find her with both hands on a map. Once you get him, just, bring him back here to me and I'll give you some caps or something.
Well, before we start messing with more of the strange oddities in here, we can do a little quest for Nick and kick things off. Okay, just up the hill, we can find the key in this ruined diner, which will unlock the safe in this gardening shack down the road. Here, we can grab Nick's supplies, quote-unquote. But upon doing so, we are met with some very strange-looking mutants, one of which is called Grognak the Blueberryan? Blueberries? Looking similar to Nightkin, these mutants are called blooper mutants for some reason, and they ask what I'm up to, so we tell them Nick sent us. They say Nick is a brother, and scurry off very loudly, yet invisibly. Boots of questionable stealth? Man, these guys are silly. I love them. Anyway, we report back to Nick with his supplies. He explains the blooper mutants a bit and gives us some caps.
What the hell were those things?
Oh, you mean the blooper mutants?
What's a blooper mutant?
Well, they're big blue super mutants. Supposed to be called Nightkin or something, but Mia told them they should call themselves blooper mutants, and, well, it stuck. Anyway, I let them live in my basement tenement, and they occasionally bring me useful stuff. Mostly they just keep an eye on things around here and deal with troublemakers. Don't get many of those anymore. You're still alive, so I guess they liked you. So you got my chem supplies or what? Come see me later sometime if you're still alive. I might have some more work for you.
Okay, now back to figuring this place out. Before we start exploding ourselves in many miraculous ways, we go ahead and take a welcome brochure. Weird, cryptic, and not very helpful, but it's all we have to go off of. It's safe to conclude that almost everything in here will probably game end you if touched. And yes, that absolutely includes the consumables. Ooh, an espresso machine. Okay, after way too much time, I noticed some rail signs. There are a couple places you can safely open and grab these Nick's Fun Time tokens. Yes, that's what they're called. You have this suitcase here and this lunchbox, but you can also transfer to open the inventory of the chemistry station and the stove. Do not interact with them, just transfer. So now we can go to Nick's special little vending machine, the one next to the perfectly safe Nuka-Cola machine, and purchase a clue. Again, not very helpful, so we continue to look for tokens. It took me way too long to figure this out, but this ticking clock next to Mia is safe, and will give you a few tokens. We go back to the vending machine, and now we have enough to buy a wrench. Well, I know for certain that the motorcycle will make you explode and tell you that you don't have any tools, so I assume the wrench is used for that. And, oh, hey, we didn't blow up. That's awesome. Okay, progress, finally. This gives us quite a bit of tokens, actually, so I double-checked the vending machine, and I can, in fact, purchase a clock repair magazine. Great, I guess. That means we need to repair clocks? Maybe? There's a couple around, and they still make me explode. Right, okay. So turns out you need to actually read the magazine to get the perk so you don't explode. So we do that, and hey, look at that. We can actually click on the clocks and not get blown to Kingdom Fuck. Okay, great. We repair all the clocks and collect our tokens, just like the previous steps, and now we can afford another magazine, this time for engine repair. There's a few engines laying around, so I assume we can repair them just like the clocks, and yep, that's it. Pro tip, make sure to press this button to save. When you make progress, you will be exploding a lot. Oh, and also, don't forget to read the magazines, and don't miss this little clock like I did. Okay, now with both the clocks and engines repaired, we have enough fun time tokens for the next clue. Unlike the others, this one is actually informative and unlocks the next quest with Mia. Apparently she's gotten into some heat with a local mafia, and we of course are tasked with wiping them out and eliminating their leader, Vince Vegas. Okay, so these dudes are located at Prost Bar just next to Swan's Pond. Luckily, we are a schizophrenic engineer and have built the Gmod remove tool, so taking them out wasn't that big of a deal. We take out Vince Vegas, and on his body we find a special little item, and oh, that's, yep, okay, can't show that on YouTube. Anyway, we use this to prove that we in fact did the job, and Mia gives us her safe key, just like the clue said. I assume it's safe to open her safe now, and yep, ding. Okay, so a lot of stuff in here. Of course, fun time tokens, a new funny gun, and a key to the back room. Okay, so there's more to Dr. Nick's, I guess. The gun is just a funny revolver, but now we can open this door behind behind Nick's counter and Professor Farnsworth? Good news, everyone. Okay, wow. Okay, there's a funny clinic behind here. I'm assuming everything makes you explode like the front of house, and yep, okay. And okay, that one was a misclick. Anyway, we can talk to Professor Farnsworth, and he will give us a quest to get some spare parts to fix their generator. They're located at a scrapyard, and oh god, don't open that door. Anyway, okay, off to the scrapyard. So, lots of super mutants, like a lot, and a lot of explodey type super mutants too. And the inedible Hank? What the hell? Inedible Hank? Why is he inedible? Okay, wow, he's a beefy boy, but with some effort in fusion cells, we are able to take him down and secure the parts. We can now return to Professor Farnsworth and get a reward. What the hell is this script do? He gives us his computer password and some caps. Doing his quest unlocks the next quest with Nick. We will get to the professor's computer later. So, remember how Nick said the blooper mutants live in the tenement, yeah? Well, that's actually right downstairs, and he told us to put some chemical into the HVAC system so it could be pumped downstairs into their living space. Okay. Well, we go to put the KT-28 canister in the... Oh, Jesus! Okay, we put the KT-28 canisters in the HVAC system and tell Nick.
Yeah, so did you, load up the stuff and start the HVAC?
It's already done.
Well, good, nobody wants a bunch of fucking psychotic blooper mutants running around causing trouble.
Is it dangerous?
Well, don't worry, that KT-28 stuff mostly only affects the blooper mutants, but, you might experience some, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, and maybe some, rectal bleeding, what we in the medical profession would call mild side effects. But, it probably won't kill you or anything.
Great. That's just me.
So as long as you're headed down there, do me another favor and take these old comic books to Grognak. He and the boys really have a thing for the Unstoppables. I might have kinda sorta suggested to them that these comic books are actually human history. And now they sorta kinda all wanna be superheroes too.
He then tells us to go into the basement and give some comic books to the blooper mutants. So he convinced them that these comic books were in fact human history, and now all of them are convinced that they are superheroes. So off to the basement. This should be interesting, to put it lightly. Okay, wow, so there's a lot to take in entering the blooper mutant tenement. My initial reaction was that this reminded me of student housing, especially the bathroom. But seriously, I don't know how to really explain this area, but the sheer environment of it is hilarious and chaotic. It's like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles partnered with Walter White and hosted Comic-Con. The decoration is just stellar, and they even have a communist grinding machine, one they use for food. They eat pureed communists? Speaking of which, talking with Grognak, who seems to be their leader, we give him the comics and he informs us that the communist food paste machine is broken because they smashed it. So he wants us to go get some more parts to fix it. Obviously, we agree to help. Who could say no to such a pretty face? Great. Well, this quest takes us to quite a unique location in the vanilla game, actually. Suffolk County Charter School. Well, this is a FoxSpaceMagik video. I can't resist giving a bit of lore on locations like this. So here we go. For starters, around this location, there are unique pink-colored ghouls dotted around. You'll see why in a minute. Also, don't mind the Whispering Hills mobs. I'm still using my Isaac Clarke mod pack from the last video, which you should really watch, by the way, please.
A man named Kellogg used to live in this city. I need to search his house.
I will do everything in my power to help you overcome my citizens' privacy.
Uh-huh. Move.
You.
But let's get inside. To the right is the principal's office, where we can find the principal's terminal and holotape with one of the school's daily announcements. The tape gives us a little bit of context regarding a special nutritional program the school was participating in, and how the principal was enforcing the included rules in order to get maximum funding in totalitarian fashion, of course.
Good morning, teachers and students. It is another great week here at Suffolk County Charter School. I hope everyone is getting their costumes together for the annual Halloween festival. I would like to take this opportunity to remind you that no outside food is to be brought on campus as of this week. This goes for faculty as well as students. We have received generous donations for our implementation of the Nutrition Alternative Paste Program. We owe our benefactors strict adherence to the rules they have set forth. Thank you for your attention. This is Principal Hudson, signing off.
We can also open her terminal and read the log from what seems to be an agent from the program detailing the rules and guidelines for the program, instructing her to enforce compliance and obedience or funding will be withheld. This is to ensure a proper testing environment as to prevent the data from being compromised. Oh man, I love Fallout so much because it just nails the satire on the US and capitalism. Oh, reminds me of my old school. Anyway, if you check the principal's safe, there seems to be a lot of pre-war money and high-value objects in here. You know, I wonder if Principal Hudson was embezzling any of that money the NAPP program was bringing in. Again, the satire is just perfect with Fallout. Okay, continuing. We fight our way through the infested school, and we can find various pink handprints and stains as well as this strange pink paste littered everywhere. In one of the classrooms, there's a teacher's terminal with a draft complaint letter, of course addressed to the principal. Mr. Smith, the teacher, addresses his concerns and complaints on the program, starting with its negative impact on the children. He exclaims it's demoralizing and desocializing them. He states it's humiliating and inhumane to force everyone to eat flavorless paste. RimWorld reference, perhaps? Videos on that coming up, actually. Stay tuned. Anyway, also, he says it's causing the children to misbehave, and states he thinks everyone is slowly turning pinker by the day. So this would explain the pink ghouls we see around this location. The pink paste the principals forced everyone, staff and students to eat, turned them pink. Incredible. Well, continuing to the cafeteria, we find a lot of this paste and the parts we were tasked to find, next to this strange grinder and pipe system. Grabbing it swarms us with mobs and apparently the green blobling. Okay, after what felt like a Looney Tunes episode of a fight, we somehow scrape out of it and can continue our search on this location. Here also in the cafeteria is the second holotape from the principal, by the way. Have a listen.
Good morning, teachers and students. It is a fabulous Wednesday here at Suffolk County Charter School. The Glee Club is having their seasonal bake sale today, so stop by and show your support so we can send our team to the regionals. Remember, actual baked goods are forbidden on school grounds, so they will be selling colorful cups for your food paste. Oh, also, we will be having a school assembly during second period tomorrow on the dangers of strangers by Jangles, the moon monkey himself. Once again, we would like to thank our benefactors from the NAPP program for allowing us to have such a big star come and speak to you kids. We owe our benefactors strict adherence to the rules they have set forth. This is Principal Hudson, signing off. Have a great day.
Going upstairs, we find another of the principal's announcements holotapes. And oh man, just have a listen.
Happy Friday all. The NAPP program launched this week with success, but not without problems. I hate to have to throw away your mother's carefully packed lunches, but I am afraid we must put our foot down on this issue. I am assured all of you will get used to the flavor of the paste. Also, I have been informed that flavor varieties will be on their way pending continued success of the program. How exciting! To those complaining, I will repeat. There are absolutely no psychological or physical side effects from participation in the NAPP. Any observed effect is assuredly psychosomatic and possibly related to a lack of trust in the government. Remember, our participation in the NAPP not only helps our school, but in the long run benefits our nation. Thank you for your attention. This is Principal Hudson, signing off.
Remember, kids, interfering with my money embezzling is not only morally wrong, but it means you're unpatriotic and distrust the government. Need I say more? Oh man, it reminds me of my grade school principal. She got caught embezzling thousands of dollars and fled to Uganda. Anyway, there isn't too much more at this location, so it's back to Dr. Nix. I much prefer my commie paste over the pink paste, thanks. Okay, so we're back in the blooper mutant tenement. Lots of funny yelling and chaos as usual, but we fix the commie paste machine and inform Grodnak, and then Nick, who has yet another quest for us, this time at the Mass Bay Medical Center, to find some auto-dock schematics. He warns us of a very dangerous gunner boss, so this should be fun. Before we do this, we can open the professor's terminal and unlock his safe, which has this special serum in it, which allows us to ingest Nick's consumables without exploding and interact with a few more things safely. Nick also gave us a special lab coat which allows us to use the workbenches safely. Okay, cool, so now we can interact with at least half of the stuff without exploding. Anyway, back to Nick's quest. There's a terminal here, and it has some pretty funny logs. Too lazy didn't read. The hospital higher-ups were shortcutting the staff and doctors by using auto docs and garnishing wages, and using the extra money to go on long, expensive business trips to places like the Bahamas and Switzerland. Oh man, Dr. Nix is certainly lore-friendly indeed. Anyway, this terminal also leads us inside the main building, which is actually super pretty. I don't know if this is modded or vanilla, but regardless, I've never been here before, so that's kind of cool. We take out the gunners and grab the schematics, but then we are jumped by Major Frost. He's a really tough gunner with a cryo weapon. Kinda gives me Mr. Freeze vibes, to be honest. Now, he's very strong, and even with my overpowered spaceship engineer build, it was a difficult fight. Luckily, some blooper mutants came in to back me up, but they very quickly evaporated. But I was able to take him down and grab his special weapon. And as per usual, back to Nix. He's surprised that we were still alive, and our character inquires that he tells us more about what exactly is going on at Dr. Nix. We turn in the quest, and then he tells us to talk to him again if we want to know more, which we of course do. He tells us we are a lot smarter than the usual people he sees, and informs us that there is in fact a secret laboratory, and that all the answers we are seeking are there. He gives us free reign to explore everything down there. Okay, so I guess there's even more to this place. Wow. Okay, let's check this out. Okay, so there is a lot to take in this room. For starters, it turns out that Nick Archer, Dr. Nick, was a member of the Enclave, born at an outpost station, so himself and his parents were spared from the destruction of the Poseidon oil rig. Nick and his parents, along with other Enclave contingents, moved to Chicago, and one night, after Nick and his parents were on their way home from seeing a play called Patrick and Nora, both his parents were shot and killed by raiders, and he barely managed to escape thanks to a random patrol. Okay, if you haven't made the connection, this is essentially the Fallout version of Batman's backstory. Dr. Nick is Fallout's cracked out Batman, essentially. Anyway, continuing, Nick was left alone, but the trauma from losing his parents made him deeply angry, and this anger drove him. He eventually made it to Raven Rock, and there he was taken in by an Enclave operator, Henry Decker, who trained and motivated him. Nick was trained in various martial arts, subterfuge, and infiltration. Nick also spent his time studying many branches of science, including virology and genetics, and a lot more. We continue with his personal logs, and it details his missions as an Enclave operative. He was deployed as far as the Mojave until the Enclave fell. After that, within the Enclave remnants, he met Professor Farnsworth. And get this, Nick obtained the master's protocols and formula for the FEV2 dripping process at Black Mountain. This is lore from the first couple Fallout games. I'm not going to get into that this video, maybe later, but anyway, continuing. This is the same process that's used to make Nightkin. This would explain the blooper mutants. Seems he's responsible for producing them. Anyway, Nick and the professor arrived to Boston in 2280, where they later meet Mia, who was a talented pre-war burglar who decided to join their team. He establishes his lab and decided to use raiders as subjects for his FEV experimenting. His goal in doing this is to exterminate all the raider groups. Right, so that's the rundown of Nick's backstory. Like I keep saying, this mod just has so much depth, it's brilliant, but there's still more down here, a lot more actually, but Nick's backstory was the most important part, and to prevent this video from getting too long, because iPad children click off the video if they aren't constantly overstimulated, I'm gonna have to condense things a bit. Anyway, the rest of the holotapes, logs, and documents are fascinating, but TLDR, Nick uses these mutants as a fighting force or personal army to wipe out and combat raiders. There's a few really interesting logs on his philosophy of war, order, and propaganda use that he basically uses to justify his actions. And honestly, it's morally a bit strange but very understandable and acceptable, especially in the context of Fallout. The whole superhero vibe comes into play here as well. Nick conditions them and almost kinda soft brainwashes them into believing him, Mia, and Farnsworth are superheroes, and that the Unstoppable comics are actually legitimate human history, and that all raiders are communists, and communism is in fact the greatest threat to all of humanity. He essentially abuses their low intellect, but for a good cause. There's also some documents and tapes that detail his experimentation and production process of these mutants, including a few we've already met. So yes, a lot to take in, and that's just a quick look. I would definitely recommend playing this mod and looking through everything yourselves. But I don't want this video to run on too long, so that's the quick rundown of everything. That being said, let's continue, shall we? You know, now that I think about it, this mod has had a bit of a superhero vibe looming in it. A little superhero veneer, a subtle glaze, if you will. Well, keep watching, I assure you that the rest of the mod is very funny. Well, this next dialogue is very self-explanatory. I'll let that do the explaining.
Well, you're back. And you're not shooting, so I guess that's a good sign. Now that you know what we're up to, what do you think?
It's a mess out there. Raiders are a problem for everyone. I kill them every chance I get. And I'm more than happy to stick it to the gunners. Gunners are just raiders with better armor. So what you're doing here sounds like justice to me.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way, because you handled everything we've thrown at you. You've shown us that you can actually think. You can certainly handle yourself when the shit hits the fan. And basically, you're a pretty decent person. What I'm trying to say here is, well, we'd like you to be a part of our team.
Do you often extend invitations to join?
You're the first person that's made it through the vetting process. It's not exactly easy, so no, we don't.
So give me the details.
So the blooper mutants all think we're superheroes, and I've been playing the part of that man. But I've gotten so damn overweight, it's more like I'm Fat Man now. Anyway, Mia's got a new costume worked up for me, and I'm gonna make a switch to a different persona. So if you join us, you get to be that man. So what do you say? You ready to bring some justice to the Commonwealth?
I get to be a superhero. I'm on board. When do we start?
Well, we'll start as soon as you're ready. Welcome aboard.
We don't have to hug now, do we?
Yeah, don't get your hopes up. I'm not a hugger.
Fingers crossed I get superpowers.
Yeah, well, don't hold your breath. The costume does come with some built-in goodies, though, so that'll have to do for now. Now, this next mission's gonna be a tough one, so here, take the costume, go get geared up, bring whatever guns you need, and come talk to me when you're ready to move out.
It's official, we're Fallout 4's very own Batman, or that man, but yeah, you get it. We're officially a superhero now.
So give me your best superhero voice and show me what you've got.
You have taken your last life, villain.
Hey, that's pretty good. Now try this one. Because I'm that man.
Because I'm that man.
Well, damn, I think you're ready. Our target calls himself the Quisling, and he sort of straddles that line between genius and insane. He's gathered a large number of raiders together, and they've taken over Libertalia and turned it into a fortress. We need to get in there and take them out before they consolidate any more power.
And it's time for our first mission with the superhero team to take out the evil villain, the Quisling.
Oh.
Nice dress.
So, yeah, I went for the let it all hang out look. So what do you say we get this thing done? So I sent in the blooper mutant stealth team to set the charges and take up tactical positions. And they'll be joining the assault when things start to get hot and heavy. Now Now, we believe the Quisling is up at the top of the big ship in there, but the truth is, he could show up anywhere, so keep your eyes open. Now let's go f*** up some bad guys.
Okay, so we are back here at Libertalia, and oh god, these costumes. Okay, here we go, I guess. And in perfect Dr. Nick's fashion, very explodey as usual, but fun as hell, we ended up having to roll with the plan B, but the mission was a success anyway.
Well, shit, think you're too hot and they got reinforcements coming in from the south. It's time to go to plan B. Get to the detonator.
Come out, wherever you are.
How the f does that make any sense? There was nothing there.
We rendezvous back at Dr. Nick's crack lair and prepare for the next superhero mission. Yes, there's another. We're up against Pain and her elite squad, as well as her raider army she's been consolidating. But we have the full arsenal of Dr. Nick's with us, so it will be quite the battle. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Please enjoy.
I am the instrument of justice, and I cannot fall.
Hey, that was pretty good. I think I might have peed myself a little there.
It was good working with you. I'm thinking I'll keep the costume. What's our next move?
Well, our next move is gonna be to take down some big, bad motherfuckers. Our target this time is Pain. Now, Pain was captured by raiders at a young age and went through all kinds of hell. And it made her tough as nails. When she got the chance, she took out her revenge on the raiders who had abused her in ways that are just horrific. And good for her, those bastards deserved it. But unfortunately, her story didn't end there with a happily ever after.
What? No sunshine and rainbows? Next you're gonna tell me I'm not getting a pony.
No, you're definitely not getting a pony. Pain's got a sadistic taste for hurting innocents, and that just won't do. And to make matters worse, she's in the middle of consolidating all the raider gangs she can get her hands on. And I don't have to tell you that all these raider gangs marching under one flag is bad news for the Commonwealth. Not only are we going to have to deal with Pain and the raider bosses, but we're going to have to deal with Fury and the War Girls. Some of the toughest women you're ever going to fight. And they specialize in heavy weapons and high damage. But we're all gonna have to bring our A game. Let's go. Okay, everybody's in place and we're ready to go. I've got stealth bloops in position, and from what they're telling me, this place is heavily guarded. And as soon as the shooting starts, they're gonna come boiling out of there like rat scorpions. So everybody get your game face on and let's do this thing. She's got a dead man switch. People, we gotta get to Rally Point Bravo now. Go, go!
One less thing to worry about around here.
Keep out of my way.
I just need time to recover, you know?
Get the hell out of my face. Hi.
Just focus on the job.
Right, and that concludes the sheer art that is 50 Ways to Die at Dr. Nick's. I had no idea that this mod went that in depth. I only ever had a surface level look at it prior to this video, so it was such a lovely, fresh experience for me, and I hope it was for you as well. In my opinion, this is one of the best mods for this game, period, and actually outclasses most of the DLCs. Outstanding mod, definitely go check them out, it's a ride. So, believe it or not, there's a bit more. We now have our very own personal home bat layer thing. We have our own personal bat cave, and it's pretty incredible. Let's have a little look, shall we? It's so detailed, I love it. Truly a talented modder. We also get this bonus funny weapon.
I enjoy putting them back together. What's going on?
I just need to trade gear with you.
This place is really coming together, huh?
But yeah, that's Dr. Nick's. I'm disappointed there wasn't a sequel, but I'm just happy we had the absolute blessing that was this mod. Thank you guys so much for experiencing this with me. Check out this mod and give this video and my channel some love. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Also, don't forget to watch the video 17 times in a row. Do it immediately. Yes, now.
Don't forget to put the video on repeat non-stop on all of your alternative accounts and run it non-stop for 27 hours.